already know, man. It's Deion Dawkins, and you listening to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
And yes, you are. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show, Saturday, January 13th, 2024. Happy New Year to some of the people just realizing it's a new year. But, hey, we continue to get it on, and we got to do more in 2024. That's the theme for the year. Real Deal Sports Show, we talk sports of all sorts every Saturday morning here on the Beat 105.5. We always salute here on the show the Buffalo 10. We always dedicate the show to you because we never forget. They gave the guy the death penalty yesterday. We never going to forget about the Buffalo 10. More power to the Buffalo 10 and that dastardly act that guy so deservedly received the death penalty yesterday. And they can go after the death penalty in the next phase of his trial in the court system. Yes, indeed. And we broadcasting live from the Rock Palm Broker Studios. We making sure that we get broadcasting live from Rock Palm Broker Studio each and every week. And we making sure that we're on and making it happen here on Real Deal Sports Show. Myself, the fanatic J-GILLZ, each week taking you inside the locker room and beyond the sports realm to get you the latest note. Because we're not talking about what we heard, y'all. That's down the dial. That's what they do. We talk about what we know. We get you the information fast and furious and keep you going on that key takes and things of that nature. And let's first of all continue with first the Buffalo.
Wait, hold on, Brad, man. Hold on the ones and twos. What up? Good morning, Real Deal Sports family. What's happening? Fanatic live in a little chilly Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Only 23 degrees, man. This cold weather is hitting everywhere, man. I can't wait to see tonight all that white cold air being breathing in and out when Kansas City and the Dolphins take place. This is real football, man. Football weather is now upon us here in the middle of January. But on that, just there, the dastardly act, Buffalo 10, always want to shout them out myself as well. Man, hey, that we're not going to get too political. We know it's a lot going on in the politic world. Iowa caucus starting on Monday on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But, man, hey, that dastardly act, some people would say, hey, he don't need the death penalty for that dastardly act that he came all the way to Buffalo, New York, over there to buy our alma mater, Canisius College, and shot up 10 people for no reason, man, just with nothing but hate. So
nothing but hate.
Some people should say, let's keep him alive and put him in that prison, and let's see how he survives there. So I just wanted to add that. But yeah, sports of all sorts, a lot going on, Rad, man, a lot going on.
Yeah, we got guests coming through today. It's going to be an express today with our guests, but we keep it rolling as we always do because we aren't telling you what you heard. We're telling you what we know, and we know the Buffalo Bills are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers tomorrow, 1 p.m. Could look like it could be snowy Orchard Park. Hey, I wonder what the people in Buffalo say. Hey, maybe we should put a dome in that new stadium over there across the street there. Don't you think we should get a couple more million dollars, maybe $200 million, and put a damn roof on the place so that people can come in and pay $400 or $500 a ticket? If you want to charge $400 or $500 a ticket, don't you think people should be comfortable, like in leather seats, sitting back with a drink cup holder? You ain't sitting on cold benches like you've been sitting on since the Juice ran over. When the Juice got loose in 1972-73, it's the same stadium that the Juice got down in. So don't you think you should put a roof out there, and or better yet, you should have built the stadium downtown? What kind of idiots you have running Western New York? Every other stadium is in downtown. Cincinnati, Baltimore, Philadelphia. Man, Philadelphia is beautiful. All three complexes are right there together. Baseball stadium, the Spectrum Hockey Arena, and the football stadium, Financial Field. I was really impressed what they've done in Philadelphia. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, go 3 hours down the road. Cleveland got it going on. Why would you build a stadium out in the middle of nowhere? But that's another day to deal with. But let's go, Fanatic, to our first interview in Backspin. We're going to go with the head coach, Sean McDermott, and we're going to talk a little bit about what took place in that game against the Miami Dolphins last week. Here's Buffalo Bills head coach, Sean McDermott.
Head coach Sean McDermott, George Redney, Challenger Community News. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, George. How are you?
Good. Hope all is well with yourself as well.
Thank you. It is.
My first question is, how big a play was that where Dane Jackson actually took the penalty where it looks like Tariq Hill was going to beat him on a slant pattern, and he ended up getting called for a penalty on it, and then the very next play you had the interception by Taylor Rapp on the very next play. How big a play was that penalty by Dane Jackson, as it turned out?
Yeah, I believe it was 2 plays later, but you're right. That was a situation where we didn't do a great job communicating. We were a little bit out of line there with our alignment and technique, and not Dane's fault. It's more than anything communication coming from the sideline from me and the guys and getting the calls. So things were going a little bit fast there, and so obviously that got called, and don't want it called, but it's better than getting beat, for a touchdown.
Exactly.
So smart play by Dane.
Yeah, whenever there's a chance to take what you would call a good penalty, that seems surely the case. And my last question for you, it seems like Josh Allen seems to be really hyped up for every game, every week it seems to be. And it seems like once he gets hit a couple of times, he seems to settle down and then gets into a groove. Is there any way maybe to help him with getting him to be a little more relaxed once that when the game first starts, especially in that first quarter of games?
Yeah, I think I'll just hit him in the locker room a couple of times and get him lathered up a little bit, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or some. I was thinking maybe some yoga or something that relax him a little bit.
Yeah, you send your ideas in, and we'll try everything, right, to get him settled down there, though. But he's a heck of a competitor, and I think everyone saw that last night, particularly in the back half of that game.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for your time, and good luck this coming weekend, Coach.
All right, thank you, George. Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. You see, sounds like a little more relaxed Sean McDermott as a team.
Yeah, man, that article will do that for you, huh, Rad, man?
Yes, it will. It'll wake you up and make you look in the mirror and say, hey, wait a minute, it may not be them, it might be me. And I think he's been coaching better. He's been relegating duties a little bit better. And I think on that play, Dane Jackson, that was a perfect holding penalty to take because Tariq Hill had him beat. Tariq Hill had turned him inside out and was going on that slant pattern just before. And then the next play, 2 plays later, Tariq Hill was injured. He had to come out the game. And then on a couple plays after that, Taylor Rapp came up with the interception. Taylor Rapp seems to always have calf injuries. He made a great play. He just can't stay on the field. That was his problem with the Rams. He makes great plays. He's a good deep safety, but he just can't stay on the football field, and he's already been ruled out of tomorrow's game, Fanatic, with that calf. He has a lot of calf injury issues.
Yeah, that's interesting, Radman. To pull us behind the curtain, schematically, you know how McDermott is. You talked about it numerous times, and with strong conviction and regularity. Sean McDermott likes to blitz. How do you think the Taylor Rapp injury in particular will impact the Bills as they play the Steelers with the Pickens and a Deontay Johnson? How do you think that will impact the game tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon at 1:00 at Highmark Stadium?
Immensely, because if they go with slant patterns, if Rasul Douglas is able to play, look like I don't know if it's an ankle or high ankle sprain, not really, or a knee or some type of injury. If Rasul Douglas can keep those guys calm and keep them and Micah Hyde, as long as Micah Hyde's on the back end making the calls, but keep in mind we have 2 of the slowest safeties in the league now because these guys have been around so long. They know what to do, but can their bodies hang in there long enough to make critical plays? That's going to be the key point. And I think Taylor Rapp was good to have because he knew what to do. He's a very good football player. His problem is just staying on the football field because he made some excellent plays in that game. He nailed Tariq Hill a couple good hits. He's a physical football player. If DeMar Hamlin or Cam Lewis, they've been putting Cam Lewis into that role. Cam Lewis, I think right now is a better option to come in and play that safety role with them because I don't think they're going to bring anybody up from the practice squad in that regard. So that's key to watch tomorrow. Watch the slant patterns, Deontay Johnson, Pickett, because those guys can take it to the house like they did against the Ravens last week on slant plays, and that's what the Bills could be susceptible to in this game, depending on how high the winds. If you can pass only in one direction of the field, It's going to be a chess match, an ugly football game tomorrow. I'm predicting already due to the weather factor. It's going to make this game even uglier than it was going to be to begin with, because these teams, Steelers going to run that football. They don't want Mason Rudolph to turn the ball over. And you know our turnover machine, we don't want that guy to handle the ball all day. He got to hand the ball off some to take some of the pressure off of Josh Allen as well, Fanatic.
So then do you think is this a good playoff Lenny type game, or are you going to try to get another big back with Fournette and Latavius Murray? You get them all in, and then what, do you decrease it with Cook? What do you do, Radman, and when it comes to playoff and trying to win championship and these playoff games to get to a championship? Do you play like the playoff caliber guy, or do you play with the guys who got you there?
You play with the veteran guys, the guys that help get James Cook will be in there, but I also would get that ball to Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette has to play. I also would have Tyrell Johnson in there. Johnson, they said he cleared concussion protocol, because that should have been a penalty at the goal line at the end of halftime. At halftime, that was a helmet-to-helmet hit, and there was no flag, no nothing. Everybody just ran off the field, and Ty Johnson left with a concussion and couldn't return to the game, because that guy just laid him out at the goal line. I mean, I heard it through my TV. I don't know. It sounded like it was bam. It was a serious car crash at the goal line, and it should have been flagged for helmet-to-helmet contact.
Got it. Hey, and then Radman, hey, it's going to come down to it. We've seen 13 seconds, but we've seen some wins from McDermott. Tomlin's a great coach. Which coach do you think has the advantage tomorrow? McDermott or Mike Tomlin?
I think Tomlin, being the underdog, will have the advantage because they can run the ball. The Bills may not be able to throw the ball like they normally can, so that's a big advantage for the Steelers. They don't have to contain. They lost T.J. Watt for last week, so the Bills they don't have to have a fierce pass rush against the Bills because passing may be limited due to weather conditions. And let's hear what Bills defensive quality control coach Eric Washington has to say about the upcoming game and about some defensive strategy.
George Radney, Challenger Community News. How you doing today?
Good afternoon, George. Doing well.
Great, glad to hear it. I was just questioning. I would like to wonder your comments on Balin Spector's play yesterday. Him being rushed into the game there after the Terrell Dotson's injury. How would you do give us analysis on his play?
I thought he stepped in and did a really good job. He was physical. Baylor clearly understood the offense, understood some of the keys that he had to really focus on to put himself in a position to get to the football, to leverage formations, and to be in a position to finish plays. And it just speaks to Baylor's level of preparedness and just always keeping himself ready to step in and to contribute, because you never know what might happen. But overall, I was really excited to watch him go out and compete at the level that he did.
Yeah, it seems like he's really a tackler. I was really impressed with his tackling. He was wrapping guys up and bringing them down, which you don't see a lot of that from guys, especially younger guys when they first get into it, especially coming in the middle of a game like he did. He's always been a tackler of this kind?
Well, tackling starts with the mentality, and Balin definitely has the mentality to get downhill and to attack and to finish the play and to limit yards after contact. So we've seen that since he's been here throughout the preseason and in some of the opportunities where he's gotten a chance to play, and he really stepped it up yesterday. We needed it because the first half was one run concept after another, and most of them were perimeter runs where our linebackers and second-level defenders had to really get over and finish the ball carrier in space.
Yes, indeed. And one last question for you, Coach. Is there I know it depends on your opponents. The Steelers, a team that like to run that ball straight ahead, up the middle type running team. We might even get an opportunity to see Linville Joseph and Daquan Jones playing together on the field at the same time down the road here?
It's certainly possible. I mean, that situation, who dresses and who the decisions that are made as far as that's concerned is fluid from a week-to-week basis. Some of it has to do with availability, and some of it has to do with the style of offense that we will see with the next opponent. So that's certainly a possibility.
Yes, indeed. I think those two guys are definitely great, not great, but very good run stuffers. And thank you for your time and good luck this coming week.
Thank you, George.
All right, there you have it from Eric Washington, quality control coach, aka assistant defensive coordinator since Sean McDermott's been making the calls. But Fanatic, I think the Bills have to go with Linval Joseph and Daquan. I would take Poona Ford out of there. He's a little too light. He's a fire hydrant. I would go with the two big guys out there stopping, because the Steelers like to run the ball right up the gut, right up the middle, and I would try to stop them and force them into some type of passing situations.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I can see that, and that definitely is going to be really interesting because Pittsburgh, they're gaining some confidence. They not even trying to hide it. They know Mason Rudolph. They do not want him to win the game. They want Najee Harris, a little Jalen Warren, a little fire hydrant. Man, that dude got tree trunks for legs, man. Little cat, but he can really move it. And Najee, man, he runs so high. But that Bills defense is susceptible to the run, so it should be an interesting one. And really, I know we're going to talk about winning some money later on. That Steelers plus-10. I know the Bills beat them down earlier in the season, but Steelers are starting to find their way. And I think the elements and everything could set up just right. I don't know for a Pittsburgh upset, but enough to win us some money.
Absolutely. You know, we'll get to the money line. And one thing about Clemson, about Balin Spector, Bills picked him up in the 7th round out of Clemson. And, man, he was a tackling machine at Clemson. The problem with him is similar to what Taylor Rapp. He just can't stay on the field. He came in and played an excellent role with the Bills, taking over for Terrell Dotson. He did an excellent job filling in for him. And to me, he looked better than him. He came up to the line. He reminded me of a little Matt Milano, the way he was wrapping guys up and bringing them down to the ground. They wasn't getting by him. He was making plays. So if he can stay healthy, that could be. And I'll tell you one thing, Brandon Beane has really been outstanding with guys from the 5th round to the 7th round. He's been finding a lot of diamond in the rough, guys that can maybe not start, but they come in, they can definitely fill in. Balin Spector been well. Dane Jackson, getting these guys, DeMar Hamlin. The list is an endless list of guys from the 5th to the 7th round. And normally those are the guys that you don't keep. Those guys are just usually there for training camp to give you extra bodies during training camp. But he's finding these guys, he being Brandon Beane, he's done an outstanding job. 5 through 7. His problem is in the first few rounds is his trouble. But 5 through 7, it's like, man, you really are on point with bringing these guys in to fit. And these guys come in, obviously they play the same system that the Bills defense is playing, and that helps them out with bringing in these defensive guys, because he brings guys in that are very familiar with the Bills system, because that's what they've been playing in college. And then they just have to learn the new terminology and the techniques of moving into the pro football level of it. So, hey, if Braylon Spector can give the Bills another good game today, hey, that's another bonus for the Buffalo Bills coming in today. So, and we're going to get to the offensive side of the ball in a little bit. But, Fanatic, we have a guest. And before that, our guest coming on is sponsored by the award-winning Marion Rivera Insurance Agency, Auto, Home, Health, and Life Insurance. Hey, y'all, 1038 Lyle Road or 511 BM Road, Suite B. Give our friend of the show a call. Give Miriam a call. She's won another award, y'all. She won more championships than the Steelers. Look like it, man. All the plaques she got up on her wall over there at 1038 Lyle Avenue. Hey, I want somebody that's winning awards. That means they doing the job. They selling insurance and they treating their customers right. 585-360-0094. Remember, 585-360-0094. Give Miriam Rivera and her staff a call, and they'll be able to help you with auto, home, health, and life insurance for you and your family. We're in the wintertime. Hey, you buy a new car, give her a call. She can help you get that car on the road with some reasonable rates. Not only Farmers Insurance, Progressive, she has contacts. She's connected with other insurance companies too. She could get you the best price possible. Check her out, award-winning Miriam Rivera, Farmers Insurance Agency. Check her out and make sure you save yourself some money. And let everybody know you heard it from Real Deal Sports Show, and it just may be an added discount for you because you said you heard it from Real Deal Sports Show. Yes, indeed. And now coming up next, we're going to go to American Red Cross. We're going to go to the Executive Director, Kenneth Lee. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show. Kenneth, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, my brother. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. First, let me just say this.
Yes.
I've known George for a long time. This man he is the greatest promoter of all things good in the city of Rochester. And, just listening to what you talked about in terms of insurance, I'm thinking I may cancel my own insurance and go to this lady.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Give her a shot. Free quote, Kenneth, a free quote. You can't beat that. Yes, indeed. And what's going on? I understand there's a shortage of blood supply currently at the American Red Cross. Is that an issue right now?
That is the issue. And George, first of all, I thank you for allowing me to come and spread a few messages. Number one, we have the lowest number of people donating blood in 20 years.
Wow.
Number two, the need for blood transfusions is something that will never go away. Like right now, every 2 seconds, someone in America is in need of a blood transfusion. So the desire and the need for those things does not go away. But yet, only 3% of the people who are eligible to give blood actually give blood. Wow. And so in this month, and especially when you think about our community, for those people in sickle cell, it's an issue that affects melanated people, and they need melanated people to actually donate blood to help them alleviate their pain and also preserve their lives. So donating blood is critically important. I've always said this is something that cannot be manufactured. Unfortunately, we can't make the blood. We need people in the community to sign up and donate blood so we can help other people. There is a shortage, but I believe we can turn it around, especially if people can do the things enthusiastically, give back to the community, just like you've always done, George.
Absolutely. And thank you for your kind words. Really appreciate it, Kenneth, for your kind words. And also, is it safe? I know a lot of people in the community, especially the Black community, African American community, and the Latino community. Is it safe to give blood? Is it safe for this to take place? How safe is
absolutely. It? I'm glad you brought that up, because I do recognize that a lot of people have some anxiety about giving blood. They have some misconceptions. Yes, it's absolutely safe. In fact, one of the things they do when they give blood, you actually go through you have to be relatively healthy. And so they go through a screening process just to make sure that you're healthy. We do not, actually, I can say this. I played sports a long time ago. I didn't play football. I played basketball. The only times prior to me joining the Red Cross that I gave blood shamelessly was when my high school and college coach made me give blood. Mm-hmm. I've been out of school for a long time. So I was a little nervous the first time I gave blood. I gave blood for sickle cell. I'm a power donor, as a matter of fact. But once I turned my head anticipating the worst, I didn't even feel anything. It doesn't hurt. We've got people on staff who makes this process easy, and it's also safe.
Excellent, excellent. And what's the incentive that you have out here now that for people to come,
for
people to give blood?
So January is Bloner Designation Month, and so as a way to provide an incentive, in addition to the fact that we have a shortage of blood, the NFL and the American Red Cross is partnering to offer a fantastic prize. So for anyone that decides to donate in the month of January, and on University Ave, you can go, I'll give you the information at the end, but they do blood drives on Tuesdays, every Tuesdays and Thursdays on University Ave. If you're not in the city, we have locations all over. So when you sign up, you can put your zip code in. They'll put up a certain locations that is close to your area, and then you can schedule one. But if you sign up and give blood in the month of January, you will be automatically entered into a contest to win round trip tickets, airfare, food, and some spending money to this upcoming Super Bowl.
All right. Wow. You hear that, everybody? Listeners, I hope that perks some ears up. This is another
way. Me excited. Hey, I'm about to come back to the Rock, get myself, put my sleeve up. Let me get it. Hey, I need something, Mr. Lee. Hey, I need to do something like that here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, so I can go right down the block, man.
Well, listen, that's a national contest, so you can certainly give blood in Baton Rouge, and you'll be automatically entered in also.
Okay, bet. Appreciate it. Also, it's national contest, so I thought I had to catch a flight. No, find it out here in my community. And I know, like you say, we'll be able to get that information to figure out where exactly it is, correct, at the end?
Yes.
All
so
right.
I don't know how much time I got, but
Yeah,
I definitely want to give the information.
Well, and go ahead and give us the information.
All right. So there's a couple of ways in which you can give blood. You can download the Red Cross Blood Donor app. Okay. It's called Red, or you can go to the website, redcrossblood.org, or you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS or 1-800-733-2767. It's 1-800-733-2767. Those are 3 ways. Download the app, go to the website, or make a phone call and schedule an appointment. We encourage as many people to do so in the month of January. And one other thing, I had mentioned that only 3% of people who are eligible who actually give blood. For those people, if they, let's say on the average, they give blood twice a year. If they gave blood one more time, that would also help out significantly. So you've got some people, because I've run into a lot of people who say I give blood and, they keep count of the number of units that they give. Which is fantastic, but they can actually sign up and give blood one more time. That would also help.
We definitely, and we got to have you back on the show because you have so many different programs to offer. Not only the blood, which is very critical and very important right now, but all 3 of my sons learned to swim through the Red Cross swim program over at Adams Street, Baton Street pools. So all 3 of my kids went through that swim program. We're gonna have you back on to talk about that too, about getting our kids in the community for a free learn to swim program for the young people as well. Kenneth.
Hey, come on now. Hey, my wife yells at me. She always says my favorite 4-letter word should be love. My favorite 4-letter word is free, baby. If it's free, it's for me. Come on, man. If it's free, we gotta holla at that. Swimming is super important, man. You never know when it might save your life or somebody else you care about's life. So we definitely need to have that. Swimming is so important and a great exercise.
Yeah, and the CPR programs as well. So we're going to have you back on. Kenneth Lee, Executive Director of American Red Cross. Super Bowl opportunities. You give blood, you get entered into a national raffle, and you could be there. Who knows? You could already be that winner to win that grand prize of that Super Bowl package taking you to Las Vegas, Nevada. Heck, if they come from this area, you can join us on Radio Row at Mandalay Bay Hotel somewhere during that week of Monday, February 5th through February 9th. We'll be broadcasting live Real Deal Sports Show from the Mandalay Bay Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. So good luck with that. Good luck with the hopefully we can help you increase the amount of people giving blood, Kenneth Lee, and thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on. You guys have a great rest of the day.
Thanks, man. Hey, and thanks for what you do, man. It's important work. Thank you for what you do.
Absolutely. And remember, everybody, take care now. And remember, 1-800-733-2767. Give a call. Get registered to give blood or learn about their other programs, the CPR program, which is very important, the swimming program that they have for your kids. You got kids at home during winter break, February recess, get them out of the house and get them over there to learn to swim. Get them in the pool to learn how to swim. They can save their life and they can save their future kids' life down the road. You're doing something to help your kid out for the rest of their lives. It is free, y'all. There's so many free things to do. That's what I'm saying about being a parent is really easy. Just spend some time with your kids. Always said that. Spend time with your kids.
And what else, Radman? You always said take them where?
Take where I said take. Remind me where I said take them where.
You say just take them places. Don't matter where. It don't matter where. Take them to the corner store. Take them to Walmart. Take them to a park. Just take them places, Radman. You always said that. It always resonated with me.
Thank you so much. I always took our kids places. I always went somewhere. And I'm glad to see you doing the same with your kids. And I hope other people in our listening to this are doing the same. Take your kids places. Take them places. Learn to swim. Museum. So many. Martin Luther King Park. There's Genesee Valley Park. There's so many places around in this area to take. Niagara Falls. Take a day trip up to Niagara Falls and see one of the 7 wonders of the world and the whole 9 yards. Just take your kids places. And Baxman, do we have a caller on the phone line? I think we had a caller coming in right about around this time. But in the meantime, let us know about that caller. But as we wrap up on the football side of things, Fanatic, anything about your guy Bill Belichick retiring? Just give you a quick.
No, I wanted to hear it and want to get it from you. You're the savant, the maven of football. You've been watching this in Strauss Street, the Fruit Belt, man. Just to me, I got two questions with you, and we'll start with a more general one. Two legends, two absolute bona fide. Even if you hated them, you gotta respect them. Two legends, well, at least Saban retired, and now Belichick, he left New England, but he seems like he's gonna continue to coach. Who do you think had the better career, Rad, man? Bill Belichick or Nick Saban? They both had the 6 champ. I'll get back on that side. I want to make sure I get it right. But go ahead. I know.
To answer your question, Bill Belichick coaching under the main man there with the New York Giants and winning 2 Super Bowls with the Giants, then failing in Cleveland with the Cleveland Browns. He had a horrible time. The Bills used to beat the daylights out of the Cleveland Browns when he was the head coach there. I think they only won 1 or 2 games that season in 1990. Ronnie Harmon dropped that ball. Should have been Bills should have won that game. But Bill Belichick left there. Then when he got in 2020 and 2000, from 2000 to 2024, and especially from 2010 to 2019, that's just pure dominance. They had one of the best defensive yards, giving up yards per game, not giving up yards per game, not the lowest yards per game, the lowest defensive. They were always in the top 3 of defense, and their offense under Tom Brady and their offensive coordinators, they always was one of the top scoring teams. The Bills couldn't do anything with them. The Jets couldn't do anything with them. They were just, the Miami Dolphins did a little with them, but the Bills and Jets had no answers for that. And they won the division almost 9, 10, 12 straight times, 12 AFC division 11, titles.
11 straight years, yeah.
Wow, 9 Super Bowls. What can you say, man? The guy is a legend, a great coach. He's a great football coach, but it just shows you in today's football is a lot more passing and everything. They were running the ball still a little bit more in 2010 through 15. It was a little bit more a combination of both. It wasn't all open season passing, and the rules were changing too during that time period. So he adjusted to the rule changes. And I think it's quite ironic that both of them are retiring because they would interchange. Whenever one of their coaches get fired, one of them would, if it's Dabo or if it's the guy that the offensive coordinator now at Alabama, they would send him up to New England. They would send their coaches back and forth between Alabama and New England. I don't know if most of our listening audience is aware of that. They would rotate their coaches. Whoever got fired would either go to the New England Patriots or they would go to the Alabama coaching staff. So they interchanged their coaching staff throughout the years and made sure. Brian Dable left New England, went to Alabama, then from Alabama to Buffalo, and now he's a head coach with the New York Giants. Man, I don't know about his attitude problem, but Wink Martindale, man, him and Wink look like they were ready to come to blows. So Wink had to resign as the offensive coordinator over there. So, things were popping with it. Things happen. But Bill Belichick, outstanding job. Both of those guys, outstanding job. But Bill Belichick needs, even though the last 3-4 years have been a downer, you cannot ignore the great job he did with the New England Patriots and making it a better league. And then even, hey, if you don't win, hey, we cheat to win too, man. They'll do it all out. They cheated. Allegedly. They deflate gate. Then spying on the team before the Super Bowl, watching them warm up, watching them run their plays. Oh, they're going to run this play. Oh, no wonder they always knew where the Rams were and so forth in that first Super Bowl. They knew what happened. And then you go back to the Tuck play and that snowstorm in New England where the Raiders should have won that game. We never heard of the Tuck rule. We didn't know what they were even talking about. But somehow New England ended up winning that game that helped propel them to Super Bowl wins and things of that nature. So congratulations, Patriots fans. New England, you guys did your thing. So Bill Belichick definitely a higher level than Nick Saban. Nick Saban couldn't make it in the NFL with the Dolphins. They ran him out back to college. And now, because I think he left because the portal. He can't cuss people out. He can't line dance at their house and do that electric slide at my people's house down there in Birmingham and Gaston, Alabama. And then when he gets to the kids to the school, oh, I didn't say that, man. Oh, I said what? No, you are third string running back. You're not our starting running back. We got two guys ahead of you, brother. You got two. You got to earn the job. So he can't do all that electric sliding and eating that good cornbread and mac and cheese, and mama and them got the ribs on the grill and the barbecue chicken on the grill and all of that, man. Oh no, man, you can't do that no more, man. If you don't, and then when you get them to school, change your tone and all of that. No, not in today's NCAA. Now the kids can say, "Oh, screw you, man. That's not what you said at my house." So now they're leaving, and I think you're gonna see other coaches retiring too, because they can't get away with what they've been doing since the beginning of time. Just using these kids as a scapegoat. This, like it's their personal property. So I think that's why Nick Saban out of there, and I think you're going to see some of those other ones, Fanatic, leave out.
And I know that's a great one, man. And of course, I know we got our guests coming up, but I'll just make mine quick. It is either one. Belichick, I can see it, but I'm gonna go with Nick Saban in the changing landscape and how he dominated. He didn't dominate the MAC. Up there where Buffalo was playing and Akron is playing. He didn't dominate the Big 12 where they play no defense. You got coaches like Mike Gundy who coached forever and can't win a thing. He didn't dominate. He dominated the SEC, the best of the best. It has been that way ever since he really got there. The SEC has just been continued to be the elite league. And all I need to say, 6-time champion, 9-time SEC champion, and a 206-29 career record in 17 seasons. And hey, he won LSU's first championship, and then he went on to dominate there at the University of Alabama. So us at LSU, we know that we know Alabama just hired Kalen DeBoer coming in from Washington to come down there. But hey, he's a great coach, a great offensive mind. But as long as LSU doesn't have to see Nick Saban anymore, I think we got a chance to be consistent champions. So I'm going Nick Saban as the better coach.
All right, there you have it. And
we're gonna pass it right to AD. But that's what I remember for folks out there who can see it, or I'm gonna make sure I say it. I heard these two great coaches, or the one great quote from both of these men. And like you said, there was a little almost like a minor league, major league. A lot of Alabama, New England always would draft from Dante Hightower, Anthony Jennings, a bunch of Mac Jones, a bunch of Alabama players. Bill Belichick had a little inside information. Bill O'Brien was down there and then came, of course, back to New England. I know AD knows about Bill O'Brien, but both of these great men said together, good habits and being disciplined lead to great results. No matter if you liked them or if you didn't. To me, that's a quote to live by. Good habits and then being disciplined lead to great results. So I just wanted to make sure I threw that out there.
And brought to you by Challenger Community News, Western New York's largest weekly African-American newspaper, thechallengernews.com. We're back. The papers the Martin Luther King edition is out on newsstands now. Check it out, thechallengernews.com. Call 585-766-3590 if you want to advertise in the Challenger, or if you have articles and things, send it to editor at thechallengernews.com, editor at thechallengernews.news.com if you want articles to go into the publication. And next, we're going to Houston, Texas now. We're going to go back to a friend of the show, AD from the Max Corner. Mac, AD, welcome back to the show. You got a big game later today. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all, man? Hey, man. Hey, everything's going great, man. We ironically, we're preparing. You know how it is down here, George. As soon as the temperature drop below 40 degrees, particularly in the Gulf Coast area, we not used to handling that. You know, like over in Baton Rouge, they used to be able to get in the crawfish and having that nice breeze blowing off the Gulf. Now we got that, we got that Arctic front that y'all used to living with for several months out of the year, several weeks out of the year. So we getting ready to get that blast of that Arctic front. Everybody's out here covering up pipes and everything, covering up plants. So that's where we are. But right now we getting ready to take on the Cleveland Browns this afternoon, 4:30 Eastern time, 3:30 Central time. As in fact, the start of the NFL playoff season, man.
What's your take on it? Cleveland blew them out a few weeks ago when they made their last visit down to Houston. Do you think this game is going to be much closer than that one?
Oh, without a doubt, because C.J. Stroud did not play in that game. Now, there were several injury factors that the Texans had, i.e., C.J. Stroud was still in concussion protocol. Case Keenum, done the best that he could do. In fact, it was 1-1 with Case Keenum. But the thing that we have now, I think we're coming loaded a little bit better now from an injury standpoint, and I think we'll be a lot more competitive. Flacco, I mentioned at my post game show on the Ad Max Corner, the post game show after that game. Flacco reminded me, and I went old school on this one. Flacco reminded me of Darryl LaMonica to me between him and Cooper. He was like the mad bomber, man. Every time you look up, Uncle Cooper was running down like wide open down the field. But I think that today, I expected this would be a totally different game. I realize that Cleveland is still favored. I think it's 2.5. I think it's 2.5. It could be more, but I think it was a 2.5. Cleveland is favored by 2.5. But the fact of the matter that the Texans at the beginning of the year, George, and I've said this about maybe about 4 weeks ago. Everybody at that point in time, the Texans had started on a roll, and I asked everybody that at that time did they think that the Texans were going to would have a record at that time that they had. To raise their hand, and everybody raised their hand. I call them a liar because I told them at the beginning of the year, man, I felt like that if the Texans at best could win 7 ball games, guys, that was my speculation from training camp and everything. I felt like that they could probably win 7 ball games, but here we are, 10-7. They are champions, man. So who would have thunk it? But we are in that position. And with D'Amico Ryans, I think who should be the NFL Coach of the Year. I mean, in my humble opinion, and I'm not being too humble about it. I mean, the turnaround that D'Amico and that coaching staff has done is just utterly remarkable. And here's the other thing, George. Every last one of the Texans draft pick from this past draft has contributed.
Wow.
Last one has contributed in some shape, form, or fashion. So you obviously with CJ Stroud and Will Anderson, what those two guys, 2 and 3, the second and the third pick in the last year's draft, and how they've come out and how they've been able to just come through this thing. CJ Stroud, the offensive player of the week, then offensive player of the month. You have to the chances this afternoon, and it is an official sellout. Now, I know we sort of been looking around at the stadium. A lot of the Texans fans are sort of they'll turn around and sell their tickets. So I don't expect to see a lot of that Cleveland burnt orange and so forth today. I expect to see a lot of blue and red Texans colors in the NRG this afternoon, guys.
I love it. Well, with that, talk to us, because we heard what a dumpster fire the ownership was with the coaching, and Nick Caserio's name was dragged through the mud. But I think I heard you kind of say something nice about Nick Caserio. It's almost like the Rad Man. Does he say anything nice about the Bills? Not saying that's you, AD, but just saying, hold on. And talk to us about the job overall and what you're feeling and seeing, especially team-wise, with Nick Caserio and the job that he's done.
Well, no, I was something. This is one time me and Radman was sort of in unison, because last year at the presser when announcing the release of Lovie Smith, I basically called out Nick. I'm going like, because you had fired 2 coaches, consecutive year at the end of each season. 3 and whatever, 4 and whatever. And with Lovie Smith, and I kept going like, Nick was good. Nick could take. You could ask Nick a basic question, and before you know it, you could have a recitation of the Gettysburg Address, and still not say anything. So he basically got called out, and I called him out during the presser. But to his credit, and looking at the job at the scouting staff and everything everybody's done, as I stated earlier. Every last one of those draft picks that they drafted this past year has contributed to the success of this team this year, man. And with we appreciate Singletary. Y'all, I think y'all contributed. When he has been a big surprise down here. Mm-hmm. In fact, he's a starting running back. right now, and so he's contributed mightily to the turnaround of this team. It's come from a lot of different areas, man. But primarily, the first thing they got right was bringing D'Amico Ryans in here, and everything else is falling into place, guys.
Yeah, it looked like they're following his lead. I know we just got a couple minutes left with you, AD. Who are key players we should watch out for later today?
Nico Collins, man. I think because with CJ Stroud, I think I looked to see Cleveland probably try to would probably double on Nico Collins today. So I think Dalton Schultz, the tight ends. I think the tight end. I think you're probably going to see probably Devin Singletary coming out the backfield, some on some wheel routes and everything. It's going to be unique how Bobby Slowick is going to call this game today. That's what I'm looking forward to, because he had to, with Case Keenum is a different quarterback, obviously, but Case Keenum is no CJ Stroud, and that's not a knock on Case. That's just a plus with Case with CJ Stroud. Case has been more than an adequate backup. He's got 12, 14 years in the league, 12 years in the league. So Case understands what needs to get done. However, that particular day, the Cleveland Browns came in and just dominated. And so now I think that the domination, as far as who's going to dominate at home, is the opportunity for them to come back and win. And I think and flip the script today on the Cleveland Browns.
All right. Well, Fanatic, anything in closing?
Yeah, last thing on my end. I love it. Got to talk a little SEC and college aspects. There were some rumors. Did you hear anything about D'Amico Ryans? Was he at all contacted by Alabama? Talk about him going back. There were some rumors SEC-wise that Bama might throw the bag and get on the Gulf and come right around and come right to Houston, Texas and say, write a check for us. Whatever you want, our endowment will take care of it. Did you hear? Was there any threat that D'Amico might be going back to Alabama?
That D'Amico said, I got the job I wanted. This was the job he wanted. No ifs, ands, and buts. And let's face it, how many coaches of color have been successful? I mean, how many coaches of color had the opportunity to take an elite program in the SEC? Okay, I'm gonna leave the open-ended question to you. How many coaches of color have given a actual bona fide chance in the SEC to take a program of the Alabama statute and get a chance to win with it and play with it? How many? Oh, okay. I'm still waiting on the answer. As soon as y'all give me the answer, let me know.
Let me work on it. I got to do some homework. Next week I'll have an answer for you. Zero. Zero. Big zero right now. That's a big zero.
You're right.
And after, for today's show, today's game, the post game, after the game, where you'll be in the locker rooms having an interview, how can people listen and see those interviews?
All right. Here's where you can catch me. AdMax Corner on YouTube, also the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, as well as the Facebook. Those will be the three platforms I'll be on. In fact, I should be on there around about 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock y'all time, doing my post game with locker room interviews and then the wrap up of the game today. Win, lose, and won't be no draw today. We'll be playing. We'll play to somebody that's going to win today. So it won't be a draw, but win or lose, I will be on with the AdMax Corner on the AdMax Corner YouTube channel, as well as the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, and also the Facebook as well.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know we may have you back next week, see if Houston continues to give us, if they pull the upset today, we'll probably have you next week, but we definitely going to have you on out at Mandalay Bay Hotel out there in Las Vegas, Nevada on Radio Row.
Man, I'm looking for, hey, George, I've sort of looked at them quickly, and I know y'all got to run, but looking at the scenario, if the right teams would win, lose, or draw, the Texans could, either they could wind up having to go back to Baltimore, if they successfully go for the divisional round and then for the playoff round, or they very well could be, we could be on a run right quick. If the right teams win and lose, the Texans could be at home all the way to the conference championship, man. If things fall into place, that's the scenario is available. It really is.
Well, and I know we got to run 180 real quick. 80. So real quick. So who do you think is the biggest threat to the Texans?
Right now, the Cleveland Browns, that's who they got to place right now.
Okay.
That's the team that they have to play today. That's their biggest threat because that's the one they have to place today. They got to get past Cleveland for things to fall into place. But the Texans have to take care of their business first. So, as far as I'm concerned, the biggest threat is the game they have this afternoon at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 Central Standard Time. That's their biggest threat. That's the one they have today.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on Real Deal Sports Show. That's AD from the Max AD, the Ad Max Corner, and the Houston Round Ball Review. Have a great day. We'll check you out after the games for those excellent
Appreciate
post-game
it, guys. Hey, y'all have a good one, man. Hey, are y'all going to hey, George, you going to help get snow out of Bill Stadium?
Yeah, they're looking for shovelers. The Bills are asking for shovelers now. So I'm going to take leave early. Leave about an extra 2 hours early to get out there tomorrow for the game. Tomorrow afternoon, because it's gonna be snow.
All right, man. Y'all take care, guys.
You too. All
Thanks,
right.
AD. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we love it when AD comes on the show. And remember, Image Printer, Marketing and Publishing Company, call 585-360-0132. Let's get right into the games.
Hey, before we get there, just remember, hey, everybody I know is scrolling. Want to make sure you see it. Is that, hey, make sure that you like, subscribe to us on YouTube and Facebook at The Real Deal Sports Show. It costs you nothing but means everything to us. All you got to do is just click the icon. That really helps us out immensely. So please make sure you check us out, YouTube, Facebook, like the show, become a subscriber, tell your friend, tell your other friend, tell anybody you know about The Real Deal Sports Show. I promise you we don't mind.
We sure don't.
Let's go ahead, Rap. It's time to win some money.
Win some money. You got games today. Cleveland, Houston at 4:30 Eastern Time. As AD was just talking about, hey, I think Houston going to come out and play a hell of a game, but I think Cleveland with their veteran defense going to force a few turnovers, and I think Cleveland will end up winning this game and covering. If it's -2, or if it's -2.5, I think Cleveland will win it by a field goal to cover the spread. And move on in this Cleveland-Houston game. And then tonight in the Fridge Bowl, look like it's going to be 0 degrees out in Kansas City. I think Kansas City will get just enough together. They know what Tyreek Hill can do. They know what he can't do as well. I like Kansas City in the late game to cover the spread outright. At that is 4.5 points. I think Kansas City will win by a touchdown or more against a Dolphin team that's just injury riddled and also playing out in the cold. That's not their thing to do. Timing passes. Kansas City, I think, a mess with that timing for Tua Tagovailoa and Waddle and Hill. I look for the cover the spread. Look for Kansas City to cover that one.
I love it. To me, I love it. I'm calling this reunion weekend, man. Tyreek going back home. We got Matt Stafford going back home. I like the under in that game. I think it's going to be a lot of running. Both the offices, they played already internationally. I like the under 44, Miami at Kansas City, the Frigid Bowl. That should be interesting. Radman, I know it's a little different, and I'm a little bit nervous when I say this, but hey, the Steelers getting 10 coming to Buffalo, and they're playing a whole lot better. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I'm going to go ahead and handle that. And then to me, I think, look, I was looking for an over. Either the Eagles and Bucks, Lions and Rams. I can see either one of those games going over. I like the controlled climate. I think Detroit and the Rams are really on the same level. I like Detroit. I think I'm gonna really get a little complex with that same game parlay. Amara, Jahmyr Gibbs. We're gonna have some fun with that one. But hey, I like Miami, Kansas City under 44, Pittsburgh with the 10, and then take one of the overs, either the Rams and Lions over 51 or the Eagles and Bucks over 43.
There you go. And I'm with you on the Steelers. Take the Steelers in the 10. Bills will win, baby, by 3 points, maybe 7. But 10 is way too much points in this game. In a weather game, too. Steelers like running the ball. Take the Steelers with the 10. I like the over at Dallas and Green Bay, over 52. And I like the Detroit Rams game, over 53. Both of those games are indoors. I think the defense, there will be a lot of points scored in those games. Detroit gives up a lot of points. They score a lot of points. Dallas scores a lot of points at home. Green Bay should score some points. Take the over in those two games. Then Monday night, you really take the under in that game Monday night. I think that's going to be a defensive struggle. That's going to be a good one. And Tampa Bay with the 3 points don't look bad at all. I like Tampa with those 3 points. I think Philly's just, the injuries just got to them this year. They played all those games last season, and now they have a lot of injuries. Philly should come out with the win, but I'm taking the points with the Bucks and take the under in that Monday night game. So, hey, happy winnings, everybody. What you got there on the screen, Fanatic?
You know that, hey, Damar Hamlin, shout him out. We know it's backspin time, but shout out to Damar Hamlin. He was a Week 18 NFL PA Community MVP. So anytime we get to shout out anybody for the Bills, especially Damar, we're going to shout him out and salute to him.
And we also must say, and Caroline Blunt from About Magazine made her transition yesterday, and we're heartbroken that she's left us. So her and Jim Blunt are both now together up in the heavens now. So we salute her, and we're going to salute her even more next weekend here on the show, and also keep abreast of funeral arrangements and services, because she's definitely going to be honored. She's another Rochester legend that made Rochester such a much better place to live, with all the great writers, Adolph Dupree, Sally Majors, Marsha Jones. Just so many outstanding writers from About Time magazine are now in the heavens. So we salute you, Caroline Blunt. We dedicate the show this week and next week to you as well. Yeah. Backspin.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Real Deal Sports Show, the Fanatic. The one and only Rad Man, J-GILLZ, is missing in action, but that's all right. I'm sure he'll be back next week, man. You guys had another great show. Look forward to it again. Real Deal Sports Show, talking sports of all sorts with the Rad Man, the Fanatic. Y'all have a great one, man.
No doubt. You do the same. Martin Luther King Jr. Look out for somebody. Do some great service, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Day 50. Take care now.
No doubt. Y'all keep it right where you need it. You already know what time it is. The Bag of Time Mix Show is on deck right here on the Beat 105.5.